So the nobles used the Jews to squeeze money out of the peasantry. Jews used to have that. They would collect the taxes, and then they would have to pay the nobles for permission to reside there. That's not a very pleasant situation. Hatred finally exploded into violence. In east of the Ukraine and Russia, there were the Cossacks, and so on and so forth. So he describes the Khmelnytsky massacres in 1648, where the Jews became the victim of the Polish peasants who hated them and of the Cossacks who also hated them. This situation lasted for 10 years. That's page 102. Reuben, what can our people say to God during the Khmelnytsky uprising? They could not thank him for the slaughter going on. So many of them began to believe the Messiah was coming. So they had some messianic developments in the 1650 period. At that moment, there seemed to be no meaning. They prayed and did penance, and someone appeared. His name was Shabbatai Tzvi. It's mentioned on page 102. I think. He revealed himself the same time as these massacres occurred. He actually came from Smyrna on the west coast of Turkey, a Greek area on the west coast of Turkey. And he said he was the Messiah. And many of the masses believed this and followed after it. But ultimately the Muslim authorities in Istanbul arrested him and gave him the choice, Islam or the sword. So he converted to Islam. And it was a great disappointment to all of his followers all over the East who thought that the Messianic age had begun and they were going to be saved and taken to Palestine or whatever. So he's describing that situation here. So the whole thing was a spiritual disaster. He's called a false Messiah because the Messiah shouldn't give up just because someone offers him Islam or the sword. He should be willing to die. It's what Christianity has presented in the New Testament. So that was a great disappointment. So then people became very superstitious, he said. They had amulets, and they drove away evil spirits, medicines, dances, tefillin, and all kinds of. He describes it quite well. And then he describes the birth of the who. On page, I guess it's around page 304 or something, around 1700, following the Shabbatai Tzvi event, or Shabbatai Tzvi, he was called. I don't hold you responsible for all these names or all this history, but it's interesting to learn or know about it. The Baal Shem Tov, that I would hold you responsible for. So this person is very much like a Jesus character. You're a Christian and you know a lot how Jesus presented in the New Testament. This is, Shem is name, Tov is good, Baal is master. Oh, master of the good name. Master of the good name. That means he could do magic. Jesus does that by mentioning the name of God, and they spoke in the name of Jesus and he was cured. Remember in the book of Acts? And they said the name of Jesus, and they, and then somebody stopped having a menstrual flow. Or somebody was cured of leprosy, or somebody stood up from the resurrection, or, it's all through the New Testament and the book of Acts. If you read those documents, This is the same thing, what's going on here to some extent, the way they believe. But they were basing it on Kabbalah. Look, Kabbalah, 2 B's, I thought so, not 2 L's. You guys deceived me. I was right all along. Where's Kabbalah? There it is. I was right. 2 B's. There. What page is it on? In your book, 105 or something? Yeah. Wow, it makes me happy. I was right about something anyway. The spelling of that book. So they talk about Madonna's religion there, Kabbalah. Then they call it the books of Jewish mysticism. That's what I asked her. I said, oh, Madonna, I thought that the Kabbalah was Jewish mysticism. No, she said, no, it's what I said. Okay, so it is. Anyway, he thinks it's Jewish mysticism here. The rabbis now you say the rabbis forbade Kabbalah? Yeah, because it was considered an underground, anti-rabbinic thing. more mystic, more charismatic, not law-oriented, very Christian-like if you want, in the sense that they don't observe the law, but are more interested in miracle working and healing and that sort of thing. Which, you know, Christianity is more interested in that than the law, Moses' law. So it shouldn't surprise you that a lot of this took place in the Carpathian Mountains, he said. He tells all about him here. You see, Reuben's father tells Reuben and Danny the whole story. And he also was in these mountains that gave birth to Hasidism, and sort of in Romania, Polish border. And then he talks about the Baal Shem Tov. And how does he refer to him as the Besht? Why does he call him the Besht? Why do you think he calls the Baal Shem Tov the Besht? B-S-H-T. An acronym. B-S-H-T. Just put some vowels in there and you get Besht. They like to make acronyms. For instance, you know the word posh? That's an acronym. You know what posh is based on? You know, he's posh, he's he's stylish. You know what that's based on?
Like English.
English? What's it based on, you know? It was based on the people who used to go out to serve in India.
Oh, that's right.
And to get the best places on the ship, because they didn't want to be in the sun. So we port out and starboard home. Port out and starboard home, posh. The best people, the posh people, got the good side of the ship out and the good side of the ship back. That's where the word comes from. There's lots of words like that. Posh. I guess you only probably know Posh Spice, but she's posh, I guess. She's married to the big soccer player, isn't she? Yeah, what's his name again? Yeah, David Beckham. Yeah, real good looking guy. He had a few mistresses apparently, but other than that, he's cool. Posh didn't like that apparently. But anyway, I don't follow this stuff. I don't follow this stuff. I just absorb it occasionally. All right, so he tells the master of the good name, the best. So they also have singing and dancing, and if you look up here on Atlantic Avenue, Long Beach Boulevard there, you'll see them singing and dancing in religious days. And here's the word I told you about. The Hasidim had great leaders. There it is. The what? He spells it T-Z, but I just spelled it Z. The Tzadikim. The Tzadikim. You all know what that means. Now what's I am in Hebrew is a plural. So Tzadik, Tzadikim means, he says it, righteous ones. The righteous